Hey guys, welcome to Play Retro. In front of me I have one of the hottest retro handhelds on the market right now, Anbernic Rg35XX. And shout out to Anbernic, their quality's just been getting better and better and better, device after device. And I really think they really hit a home run with this one. And this is it. This is my review. I've not been paid or anything to say this. I've spent my own money on this. It's not been sent to me for free. For the people who just want it short and sweet, um pick this up. If you had a Game Boy when your childhood, if you like Game Boy Color, if you love Sega, if you any game up to PS1 you want to play and you just want to relive that experience, pick this up. This thing is amazing, and I like it over the Miyoo Mini Plus. I'm just gonna say that off rip. This is better than the Miyoo Mini Plus for various reasons, and I'll get into that. Stick around for that information. But I want to get right into it. Um, starting with a device tour, having a look at it. Let's start from the front. You have a 3.5-inch IPS OCA laminated screen. It is looks amazing. You can see the blacks get really black. Viewing angles are super good. Look at that. Like, it's like if anybody's watching, like I remember like when I was younger, like when we had like Game Boys and stuff, like some kid would have some game and we'd all like sit around there, and man, this screen, just like reliving that experience would be amazing. But yeah, the screen's really good. I think that's really the main selling point of this. It's so good. It makes your games like just that much better. um It is 640 by 480, so the aspect ratio is 4:3, which is perfect for a lot of your old retro systems. And you will have some black bars with like Game Boy Advance, as you saw with Super Mario Advance, and you would have like black bars with Game Boy Color. If you're gonna have it, you can always stretch it. It's not a big deal. Just let's go along with the face. Here's your controls. You have a D-pad, up, down, left, right. You have your menu button, and it's so good. I love this menu button compared to the Miyoo Mini. The Miyoo Minis ones suck. Then you have your start and select, little pill shape, and your ABXY. All of these feel absolutely great. Um, Anbernic is known for their D-pads. You might, if you've seen other reviews, people talk crap about the D-pad. It is on the firmer side, right? I'll say that. Mine is more broken in. I've played it for a while, like I said, so it doesn't really bother me. It is a little bit taller and skinnier, so you can see here, right? It does come off a little bit more, and it's a little bit thinner than the Miyoo Mini. So it's really preference. I like this one, but I do prefer the Miyoo Mini Plus. However, I don't like that console better, which I have it right here. So D-pad comparison real quick for the people who want to see it. Here you have the Miyoo Mini, right? It sticks out a little bit less, so it's a bit shorter, and it's a lot softer to press. If you like that feeling, you might like this more. And also, I just like how wide it is versus this. It's a little bit this one's a little bit smaller and it's more firm. But they're both great all the same, um the face buttons. These buttons, they're membrane. They feel good. They feel phenomenal. I've had no problems with this. Even all these buttons, I like them. Moving on, we have a little speaker here. It's good. It gets pretty loud. It is mono. If you want stereo, you will have your 3.5mm headphone jack right here, and your charging port down here. Let's move over to the top. You do have HDMI out, so if you get tired of this beautiful screen, you can plug it into a monitor or a TV to get a bigger screen. You do have your LED lights over here. moving over to the right side, you have your power button and your reset. I want to talk about this real quick. So the power button. This power button, you have to press and hold it for it to turn on. And that's a really good feature because like you don't want this in your pocket and you accidentally press it and it turns on. Like if you press it, right, it does nothing. But if you press and hold, 1, 2, 3, I think it's 3 seconds. Yeah. And you can see the light went on and it's booting up. So you can see I'm running MinUI right now. That's my operating system. I will take you through how I have it set up and all that. But I want to continue with the device tour real quick. You have 2 micro SD card slots here. The way you put them in is backwards. So the, what do you call it? The connector is facing the device, just so you know. I know a lot of people don't talk about that. And also the reset. This is so important on these devices because you will run into issues from time to time. And having this is so convenient. Versus like on this, if this freezes or you get a black screen or something, you have to unplug the battery. And it's not easy to do that. It's really annoying. I know there's like software stuff like with Onion OS, you can press and hold it for 10 seconds, but that doesn't always work. So you need a reset button, and this one has it. Okay, moving on. You have your volume rocker. Have no complaints whatsoever. It's way better than this one. Just saying, it's bigger, it feels better, it's more satisfying click. Then moving on to the back, I just have this little decal. I work in printing and just one of my favorite games. I am currently not playing Pokemon. I'm trying to avoid playing Pokemon because that's all I end up playing. And I'm just like, oh man, like there's such a world of other games I need to really try out, and that's what I've been trying to do with this device. But I do have the decal here. Anyway, I didn't do as good of a job as like some other people, but whatever. You do have your shoulder buttons here. I have no complaints whatsoever. You rarely use this. I mean, like stuff I use, I maybe use the LNR, but I don't really mess with it too much. That's the tour. I do want to show you with a ruler how big it actually is. So top to bottom, it is about, let's say 4.5 inches, right? And then from like left to right, see maybe like 3 1/8. And then thickness, at its thickest portion, it's about 1 inch. But really, like I would say it's like 3/4 thick because it does have different thicknesses along the side and all that. This is how it looks like in my palm. I think it's the perfect size. It's not as small as like anything small in this would be so uncomfortable for me, at least, right? And anything bigger is just like, it's more cumbersome. So I think this is like the Goldilocks. It's like the perfect size. It's just big enough where the screen is nice and vibrant and you can see everything going on, but it's not too small where your hands are cramped and it's like annoying to play. And look at this. I can throw this in this is my case. It came with the device. I bought it like this. Look at this. Just slips right in. And this thing is tiny as well. Look at this. That's it. That's the whole thing. I throw this in my bag. It has a little wristband and just wrap it around my wrist. It weighs like nothing. So it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Emulation right now has gotten so good. You're really not going to run into issues playing any retro game that this thing is trying to play. Like it's amazing. I want to talk a little bit about more about the screen, which is a big highlight of this device. First of all, just want to answer a few questions like if you might have. It's not touchscreen, can't touch it. Doesn't even have software to support touchscreen either way. It does not have a gap, right? The resolution is good. The brightness gets extremely bright and extremely dim. I usually play about like there most of the time. Even Like I don't really play in the sun because most of the time I'm inside. But yeah, it's good. It's great. The colors will look really good. See if I can boot up a colorful game. I do have the GBA color correction on, so the colors are tried to be as accurate as possible to the GBA. I don't know if this you can pick this up on camera, but this screen is great, man. It really is. It really is. Moving on to like certain features about this. Obviously, you saw the HDMI out. This does not have Wi-Fi. Does not have Bluetooth. It can, if it can, you can insert it does support like exterior controls, so you can turn this into a console, or like you'll put the HDMI out and then you put the controller this way, and boom, you'll have yourself your whole console experience just right there. It is somewhat finicky to get working from what I've seen. I haven't done it myself, but yeah, that is possible. This thing also has a real-time clock, so for games that use time, like for example, like Pokemon, stuff like that, it's great. I'll show you that actually real quick. Love MinUI. Over here, tools, clock. So yeah, this is the clock. It's very basic, but you can change it, and it'll show that in game. You know, for games that have day and night cycle and stuff like that. You can see here I have the gray model. This is modeled after the DMG original Game Boy. It looks amazing, absolutely amazing. I love it. I'm so happy with the choice I made. And this also has two other options. You have a clear purple, an atomic purple, or a clear, just straight clear with like a white like PCB. Looks really good. One thing I do like about those versions over this one is the screen bezel is black. And I do like how this looks, where like the gray kind of wraps around. It's such a like uniform look. However, with the black around the screen just makes the screen just that much easier to see. So you'll notice that if this versus like if you put it next to another one, like something like this, right? The black border of the screen, it helps to see the screen better, kind of like helps to isolate it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I am really happy with this one. I absolutely love it. Yeah, this thing's made of plastic. It's a hard plastic. It's a good plastic. It does not smell like like bad Chinese plastic or whatever. Yeah, it smells fine. And it has a good texture to it. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like very good high quality plastic. So let's talk battery real quick. I do have the updated model. I don't know if I mentioned that. This has 2600 milliamp hours. I'm getting about 5 hours gameplay, depending on what you're playing. It can vary. So I think you can estimate anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, depending what you're playing. Or so like something a little bit more demanding, maybe like PS1, you might hit 4 hours, versus like something like GBA, maybe like five. Maybe Game Boy, and maybe get like six. And all obviously these things have, with certain conditions, obviously you don't run max brightness, and you don't have the sound max volume and stuff like that. With certain things in consideration, you can probably get 5 6 hours, I feel like, on this thing. Performance. So I know a lot of people. I'm gonna put the specs on screen. So it has an A9 processor, and like it has a it's like a GPU and all that, and has 256 gigs of RAM. And my thing with specs is like, what does that even mean, right? Like, it's like, who cares? A lot of this doesn't matter. Uh, the real question is, what can it run, and how well does it run it, right? That's the real question. Because all these numbers and specs, it doesn't mean anything to most people. and I just want to put it there like, okay, you know, so expect for this device, you can play up to PS1 perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So, and that's the only things I would like to emulate, to be honest with you, because at least with a D-pad, because without a D-pad, you're gonna move into the systems that need joysticks, and then at that point, this is not gonna work. But up to PS1, this is absolutely perfect. You're not gonna run into any issues. It has more than enough power for all those systems. Um, so yeah, going into the systems, I'd say the top systems you should emulate: Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, NES, SNES, Mega Drive, um, Genesis. I'm sorry, Master System, Mega Drive, and Genesis, same thing. Um, and then you have a bunch of extra ones, which are like Turbo Graphics and Game Gear, Sega CD, all that stuff. I think for me, this is more than enough. I only run these right now. I don't even have that much time to play all these games, but this thing can be charged with like a smart charger if you have one of those, or like it'll pull what it needs from the charger. So yeah, it's charging right now. You can see that turned on right there. See that? But yeah, works fine. You can actually play while charging, I believe. So other devices don't let you do that, so that's pretty cool. It can only do up to 1.5 amps, so it's not fast charging whatsoever, but it's not the slowest charging in the world either. So I don't know. For me, it charges like in an hour. I don't really like pay that much attention, and I haven't really had any issues with it discharging on me or anything like that. That was one thing I was concerned about, like it just losing battery by itself or whatever. I haven't had that problem at all. Like I can charge it, leave it alone for like a week, 2 weeks, it'll be fine. I turn it back on, it's 100% battery. One thing I do want to talk about though is the battery indicator on almost all of the software, even the stock, doesn't matter, Garlic OS, this one, my MinUI, all of the indicators have been off, so they'll read like a wrong percentage or whatever. So it's not that accurate, and that's why you just want to like. That's one big thing I wish was different about this. That the charging thing was correct. If it was correct, this would be so much better. And that's something that needs to be corrected in software. The charging indicator is not going to be correct, but you can expect like 5 hours, you know. And then the light indicator over here, when it turns red, it is correct. So from what I've seen people say, you have about half an hour of gameplay left when the light's red. So just charge it when the light goes red. That's not, you know, not the biggest deal. Yeah, let's talk about the speaker. Quick sound demo for you. I'm gonna play a little game. My very first game that my mom ever bought me. So this was a long, long time ago, but this game has a special place in my heart. Despite it not being the game I wanted when I was younger, after like some time, I really grown to appreciate this game. This game is called Ghosts and Goblins for the Game Boy Color. So I'm gonna just do a quick sound test for you. This game is I actually really grown to love this game. And you know how everybody has their like little their game that they use to test. This is the game I'm going to use to test for my videos. Here we go. What's that? Oh, that soundtrack is legendary. Damn devil. Ooh. It's over me. Okay. So that was fun. I hope that helps to for you to see how it sounds. I know over video is not exactly the same as in person, but I can assure you it's really, really good. I love how loud it gets. You're not gonna have any problems in a room that's kind of noisy. And the one thing I want to know is the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack is just good. It's just so it gets so loud, absolutely crazy loud. Like it'll hurt your ears if you put it on blast. Versus the Miyoo Mini does not get loud at all. Like this one has a problem where for some reason it's just the headphone jack is not loud, and that's another problem with that console. But yeah, the headphone jack is real good on this one. Another thing this thing has, it has rumble. I actually want to boot up a game that takes advantage of that. I have a section here. So I think there's only 4 games on Game Boy that take advantage of rumble, but this is one of them. Let's see if we can turn on yeah, rumble's on. Okay, cool. Okay, let's just make sure we're on the right core. Yep, MGBA, okay. Continue. Oh man, I love this. There you go, I feel it right there. Oh man, if you're a Pokemon pinball fan, you're gonna absolutely love this. Just that vibration motor is so good. Oh my goodness. This is an experience right here. Look at that. So yeah, every time I hit it hits the basically anything, it'll rumble. Like right there it rumbled. Oh, that's my fault. But yeah, there's a few games that take advantage of it. There's actually I recently just discovered this, but you want to use the MGBA core on this. It's just like super simple. Like you have your continue, save, load, and then you like your options, which is like for your emulator stuff. Like maybe you want to change the CPU speed for whatever reason. Debug HUD that shows you like your frame rate. It shows you your CPU load, the resolution, and like if it's upscaled or whatever. I can show you that real quick actually. So we'll turn that on and then just go to continue. And now you can see up here. So this is why I love MinUI too, because look, this is the default resolution, and it's 4 times upscaled. See? Amazing. And then you're down here, you see this is the FPS, and this is the CPU load. So you can see if you're having any issues with any game, you can pretty much see what's going on there. And yeah, this is I believe Asteroid. Never played this game, but oh snap, I'm super bad. But yeah, that's not the point. I'm getting distracted here. Here you can do the scaling. There's right now I have it to aspect, so it's the correct ratio. But you can set it to full screen if you want, which I'll show you what that looks like. Just stretched. For some people, it doesn't matter if the pixels are not perfect. So, I like to have sort of like a somewhat accurate kind of experience. So for me, it's aspect, and I tried to have as close to how this thing used to be. I try to do the color color correction, and aspect ratio, and that's it, man. I love Game Boy Color for the sound effects, like the old school, like what is this, 16-bit or whatever it is. Sounds are so good. Like every game sounds so different. And that's I feel like a lot of like modern games have lost that charm, like that old school charm. Like games sound like games, like they have these noises that you don't get anywhere else. And like modern games just don't have that. So I want to talk about like where I got this thing and where you can get it, the best place to pick it up, and all that stuff. So pricing, why? So why is this considered budget, right? Like everybody's definition of budget is different, but I want to explain why this is budget, super budget, because okay, so this thing you can pick it up. Anbernic sells it for around like 55, right? Like retail, but it goes on sale all the time. So you can get it anywhere under that. And then it basically like people will buy it and resell it. So like if you pick the best place to pick it up in my opinion is Amazon. Like you can go on Amazon right now, and you'll see it for around $70, right? And a lot of people will do their own thing, like they'll take it out and they'll put it in a case for you and give you like additional stuff. Maybe they'll throw in more games or two SD cards. I've seen other people include brand new name brand SD cards. So yeah, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that too. The SD card this thing comes with is absolutely horrible. It is bad. A lot of things that comes with are bad actually. So if in box, I'm not doing an unboxing, but I'm just gonna talk about it. It does come with a USB-C cable. I recommend you just throw that USB-C cable out. It's trash. It smells absolutely horrible. It's no good. It's just not a good cable. Um, I mean, it's functional, right? That's kind of like what it's for, but it's just bad. The screen protector comes with a screen protector. I didn't like how it sat on the screen. You can see I'm not running it on this. This is just the glass. From what I've seen spec wise, this is supposed to be like scratch resistant and break resistant. I'm not gonna try that, but I'm not using a screen protector. At least not the one that I came with. It's not good. And then the SD card. The SD card that this came with is like very likely to fail. It's generic. It's not good. I'm gonna hold on. Let me show you real quick. I have it in my desk actually. One second. I have it here. I'm not sure if this is the exact one, but it looks something like this. It's just gonna say 64. It's unbranded, and these have a very high chance of just being fake, or they just gonna fail on you out of nowhere, and then your device is gonna be bricked, and you're gonna have issues. So, what are my recommendations? Right. First of all, pick this up on Amazon. Right. I'm gonna show you on Amazon real quick on my account. Real time. So you can see what that looks like. So it's pretty late. Overnight shipping. So that's the reason I say buy from here versus I know you can get it cheaper other places, like just buying from Anbernic. But first of all, if you buy from Anbernic, you're gonna have to pay you know, international shipping, which might be like 15 bucks plus. So it doesn't really make sense to buy from them if they're gonna charge you that. And like let's say you have an issue with your device, it's gonna be very hard to fix it, you know, because you got something from China, you know. Versus like if you just buy from Amazon, you have that buyer protection. So yeah, I picked mine up on sale actually on Amazon. I forgot what day. It was like a not Prime Day, or it was like one of those days, or like they had a sale, like a flash sale or something. So I got it for like it was like 61 plus plus like taxes came up to like 70, around 75 I think. But yeah, you can see here like I'd buy one like this. Like, even this price, I think 80 bucks. This thing is perfect. Like comes with a case. You see right here, screen protector. You know, you get your stuff to clean it, and then a crappy. There's those colors I was talking about. I do recommend the gray. Gray is really nice, but it's really personal preference. You see those black bezels I was talking about. You can see this one is, where is it? It is the newer model. So there you go. And yeah, this is perfectly good. And you can see like some sellers sell without the bag, with the bag. Um, yeah, that's my recommendation. Unless you're a person you don't care about the case, but it's handy to have. Like my setup, I just keep it in the case when I'm not using it, but I will put it in my pocket as I'm playing it. But the case is nice to have because you can like on this side, for example, like this one I picked up, right? Look, this thing fits like a glove. It has like this, it's like inlay, sits perfectly, doesn't move at all. You know, has a little strap here. which I don't really care for the strap. If this one didn't have a strap, whatever. But look, it has like this pocket on the side. You know, I can put like my headphones. You can put your USB-C cable here. I throw in a little micro SD card when I feel like tinkering. You know, it's fun. It's good. It's nice. But I can 100% see people who don't care about having a case and they just want to use the device by itself. So for those people, just buy it by itself. Yeah, I want to just quickly touch on the ergonomics of this. So this is a vertical device, right? So you just got to keep in mind there's a certain, just by virtue of being a vertical device, it's not going to be as comfortable as something that would be like horizontal, you know? So for what it is very comfortable. Like for me, my fingers rest pretty well on the back buttons, and I really like that about this device. And it just has just enough space for you to grab onto it, you know? Like one thing I don't like about this device is that it is shorter. Like it's not as comfortable. When I'm playing it, it just doesn't have as much space on it, you know? But it really depends on the person, right? You can't take both. If you're a person you only want to pick up one, it really is preference, right? I think this one is more comfortable, like where the buttons are and how just that little bit of extra space on the chin, it just makes a world of a difference. And then on top of that, the speaker's better, the headphone jack is better. In my opinion, the screen is better because one thing that no one talks about, I want to talk about it now, but one thing no one talks about with this device is that this screen is not quality. Like I've seen Miyoo's had a really bad history with bad screens. This is a good screen. However, it doesn't adhere to the device properly. Like me and my brother have this same issue. This is my brother's device actually. I have mine in my desk. But like they both have this like the screen, you can push it in. You can press in the screen, especially as the device heats up. I don't know what it is. Like I think the CPU is right here, right? And as the device heats up, I think the adhesive gets loose and that just drives me absolutely insane. I really don't like that. I'm like, how was this an oversight, you know? This is like ridiculous. And there's yeah, I can do it right now in certain areas of the screen. It's like it's clicky. Oh, you can hear it. It's like what is that? There's no excuse for that. Especially this the Miyoo Mini Plus is supposed to be a more expensive device. You'd expect better quality, right? It's not better quality. And I know I'm probably offending a lot of my Mini Plus people who are watching this video, but I'm just telling like it is. I'm not paid to say anything. I don't have favoritism. I'm telling you which one do I use more? Why do I use it more? And the reasons that my experiences with both devices, right? I've completed a lot of games on this thing too, you know? It's just certain things I just can't get over with that thing, with that device. Let's show some gameplay. Dude, I'm gonna show some PS1 here. Going on. So one thing about PS1 is like it does have longer boot times, unfortunately. That's just something you have to live with. But it does run. It runs great and it looks great. Um, I believe this is 2x resolution, so it is upscaled. I have no data apparently. Oh, look at that. That screen looks crazy right now. Do a quick fight so you guys can see. And I do want to show that the thing people say about the D-pad, that's cap. I think in the newer version they fixed it. I don't know 100% about this game. Like I don't know all the details and all the combos, but I'm just gonna play so you guys can see it, see how it runs, and you know, put some together. He's, he's beating me. Whew. I obviously don't know how to use my ultimate, but no. No! So close. So close. Okay, I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to spend too much time, getting my ass whooped or whatever. But yeah, it works pretty well. It's I haven't I did have one issue before. I was messing with the settings and whatever. Um, just what I'm saying, what I'm gonna say is just don't mess with the emulator settings. Just leave them alone. Just set them to default. Leave them alone. You should be fine. This does have sleep. So one really cool thing about this software, right? On all three of the software, stock, garlic, and MinUI, you have the ability to turn off the console, right? It'll make a save, and then you could turn it back on, and it's just like it's like um it's like having a cartridge, It's like cartridge mode where like it's only playing that game. It'll turn back on and go right to the where you were playing and just pick up where you left off. So that is such a good feature. That's what makes this amazing. And Miyoo Mini has that same thing as well. But just the fact that you can do that, you can be in the middle of a game. Okay, pause. I'll just turn it off real quick. It'll save. I'll put it in my pocket, and then when I'm ready to play again, it's good to go. And I'll show you that real quick. Okay, so we got a little Tetris. Oops. Looks like I was already in a game. Oh no. Oh man, don't film me now. Okay, this is too intense. I gotta go back to work. So look, I'm gonna press and hold. Quick save created. Okay, it goes in my pocket. And now some time's passed. I can play again. Here we go. Booting up. Give that a second. Boom, we're right back in the game. Oh no, that was a bad decision. Oh man. So yeah, in summary, you're gonna have to keep a few things in mind. You're gonna need an SD card. I would get a case if I was you. I would buy it from Amazon just in case you have any hardware issues. The stock, you're gonna have to tinker. That's something that I want to just say off rip. I would be a person that do a little bit of work and it'll be so much better for you. The tinkering, it really isn't that hard. You're just moving a few files from your computer and stuff like that. I would get a charging brick because it doesn't come with a charging brick. The stock experience is, some people like it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's a little bit ugly. I would switch to either garlic or MinUI, whatever floats your boat, whatever looks better to you or whatever. This is the best budget console you can get right now for the money. And it's only going to get better because as people keep optimizing the custom software, and who knows, maybe Anbernic will release their their source code or whatever, and you know, you'll be able to fix that issue with the battery indicator. Just the fact that it's this size and it doesn't have a joystick, it's super pocket friendly, and it doesn't try to do anything it's not trying to do. You know, it plays everything up to PS1. I know it's been a long video. If you've sticked around to the end, yeah, thanks for watching.